Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey ladies, this is your official invitation to join us on the Winner's Circle Cruise in January. We're going to meet in Fort Lauderdale and go through Key West. And then from Key West, we are going to go over to Bimini, Bahamas. If you have not been to the Bahamas in the last year or so, you've got to go. It is so wonderful, so lovely, so awesome. So far, we've got a good group of ladies that are already signed up. The max to go is 24, unless something wild happens, but 24 is the max. If you received the flyer from me, you know that you need to go ahead and get your deposit down. So we'll spend the first day in Fort Lauderdale getting on the cruise. It'll spend a day on the water. We'll get over to Key West, spend a day there. That'll be day 3. And then for day 4, we will be in Bimini, Bahamas, and we will spend an entire day there where we will just foo-la-la, foo-la-la, foo-la-la. And the final day, we will be back in Fort Lauderdale. I do suggest that you get to Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the night before the cruise. I have seen people be left, so don't be one of them. Now, if you want to leave the day we get back, the cruise is going to be back. By the time you get off, it'll be 10. So if you want to book you a flight, book it after 10 or noon. You just saw the beautiful rooms that we are going to be booking. Yes, every room will have a balcony unless you declare otherwise. Now look at that water. Can you tell me you don't want to be there? Look at all of those good markets. You telling me you don't want to be with the Winner's Circle? The Winner's Circle is for women owners of businesses that want to get together with other women from all over different places to be able to mastermind, to talk about our businesses, to grow, to support one another, to hear others' perspectives on how you can do things different in your business to be the best business and to grow your business. Anything that you can't talk about with other people, this is a great time. Join us on the Winner's Circle Cruise. Hey, mothers and daughters, we've got another great show today with you. And let me tell you something, it has been an amazing time interviewing all of the great women about what they do. And today, there's nothing less. We have Miss Kathy Mou with us today, and she's going to be able to talk to us about some amazing things. One thing she's going to talk about is holistic living and empowerment for your personal self. And then she's going to talk about why she got her business started and what makes her so excited about what she does. And guess what? Before we're done, we're going to learn how she could possibly be able to help you. Thank you, Kathy, for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor and so amazing to be here and talking to you today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Now, where are you located?
I am actually in San Jose, California.
San Jose, California. Okay, great. I want to make sure that everybody knows, because every person that I've been interviewing, I'm from Texas. Well, I've had people from Boston. I've had somebody from Atlanta, somebody from Florida, somebody from Louisiana. And I am loving it that we women are doing our thing in every little corner of the earth. And it's very, very exciting. I've been an entrepreneur for 26 years. And let me tell you, I'm so excited to meet people like yourself that can share with me what it is that you do, because I love to see the joy, like the joy that's coming from your face right now, to be able to tell us what you do. So tell us the name of your business and how did you come up with that name?
Yeah, so my company is called Happy Vibes LLC, and I actually came up with that name because I've always wanted to spread happiness. And I thought vibes was perfect because I'm all about energy, vibration, frequency.
Yes.
And that totally connected with me. So I was like, oh, I guess I have to call my company Happy Vibes. And when people see it, they're just like, okay, you're promoting happiness and cheerfulness. And that's what I just want to do in this world and contribute.
I love it. And you know what? It's a perfect word, again, because sometimes when you're places, my daughters and I, because they're younger, so they know all the hip words, and they'll go like, yeah, mama, they didn't pass the vibe check. I'm like, you're right, they didn't. So
I
I get
love
it.
that.
That's a beautiful name. So I see people posting comments and different Instagram postings. They'll go, "Yeah, she didn't pass the vibe check," and I love that because I am also all about that energy. So tell me, what made you start this type of business, other than the fact that you live in happiness space, you create happiness spaces for yourself, and I'm sure your family. What is it that was so important for you to show other people, hey, wait a minute, there's a better way?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I love talking about this journey because usually most of us get into something because went through a hardship. So me, it was my infertility journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through it after I got married in 2019. I got married in my 30s. So during that, women have some sort of timeline in a sense
Yeah,
where, we have a certain amount of eggs. So,
that's
you know,
right.
right. So then that's in a scientific point of view. So I was like really wanting to have a kid because I was like, okay, I'm getting 30s. I want to start trying. And so very naive me thinking, because the healthcare, or not the healthcare system, well, yes, we'll talk about that later, but the school system in
Yeah,
America literally teaches you, or my education was, you try once, you're gonna have a baby. That's pretty much how naive my thought system was.
right,
And so I
right.
was like, okay, I'm gonna get off of birth control. No, I'm gonna have a baby right away. Like, I wanted all this timeline. I'm gonna get married, have a kid, and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
No, that was exactly the opposite. I
Wow.
was infertile for 2 years, and that was the lowest point in my life. I got depressed, full of
Because
anxiety.
you had this other thought and dream that, oh, it's going to happen right away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so when something doesn't happen for you right away, which most of us live in, is like we always want something right away, right? This is the life we live in right now, unfortunately. So through my infertility days, I learned literally how to start loving myself. And I didn't see this during at that time because I was stuck in a very, very victim mindset of like, the world hates me, God hates me, they want to punish me. Like, what karmic crap did I do before this? Like,
Right.
what did I do? Wrong in my life. And so I was just stuck in this victim mindset. And every month I kept taking, pregnancy tests only to get negative test results. Like I didn't really empower myself to do much, but just hoping that it'll magically happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally I was so sick of it, being infertile for 2 years doing this, and
Oh,
I
bless
wanted to empower myself. Oh,
you.
bless
Mhm.
you. I
Thank you.
want to empower myself fully. And this is where the coaching began, where this was during COVID times too.
Yeah,
Coaching started to boom during COVID time. And I was like,
absolutely.
oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I should do coaching. Like, I finally overcame it. So happy story. I have a daughter now, and
Yeah.
I got her
And she's
actually.
beautiful.
Thank you.
And
I
by the
actually
way, I looked at your online on Facebook, and oh my gosh, you and your husband are the most beautiful couple, and
oh,
you
thank
had the
you.
most beautiful wedding. And when I saw your face in your wedding dress and you had the picture with the flower, I said, "Oh my God, she's living the name of her company because you guys look like the picture of bliss." I promise you. I promise you. I looked and I was like, "Oh
Thank
my God, he's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. They should be on the top of a wedding cake." That's
you.
exactly what I said. I was like, I gotta tell her that I saw it, and I was like, it was beautiful.
That's so beautiful. Thank you. And yeah, right. Everything may seem perfect, picture perfect, but that
Yeah.
was exactly the opposite for us for a very long time, unfortunately. And so I did get my baby actually naturally
Uh-huh.
suffering with infertility. I went through IVF, got a miscarriage, and
Hmm.
then took a break from all of that and then conceived naturally and had her. So my
Wonderful.
story is just a testament and to give women hope that if I can do it, then most likely you can do it too. So
Absolutely. And I love
that,
that.
yeah,
I love that you had that hope and you didn't give up on your dream because like you say, sometimes you try something once and it doesn't work and you're like, okay, well then it's not for me. Then, maybe we're not gonna have a kid. Because I've known people that have said that and they said, well, we tried for 5 years and nothing happened. So we went ahead and adopted a kid. Oh, and a year later we had a baby naturally.
yeah,
And I'm just like, sometimes you got to just calm down and you just got to reframe it and you just got to let things happen without the anxiety of, but I thought it was going to happen on the first try. So that's good.
exactly.
And I'm happy you got your baby girl.
Thank you. So after going through overcoming my infertility and depression. I just didn't want any other people to feel the way that I did. And if I can help and give back in any way possible, then that's what I wanted to do. And I started my coaching business. I was like, I'm meant to do this. I'm meant to share my story. I'm meant to help others through hardships because this is
Right.
what I felt. And what made me overcome all these things faster was to have community and help
Hey.
from just strangers. Honestly, I just found people on Instagram and boom, like I was just so happy. Like I just felt like I wasn't alone anymore. So that helped me on my journey to make it faster to overcome. And so I feel like that's what I wanted to do. And this is how I became a coach and started Happy Vibes LLC.
I love it. I love it. You know, it's a beautiful story because, like you just said a few minutes ago, it's a testament, but it's also a testimony for those people who are going through it, but don't necessarily have the support or all of the things that it takes to be able to get your mind in that mindset of, you know what, I can do this. I can create a vibe within myself that, you know, materializes all the things that I want. I have this thing that comes on my phone every day about, I get up every morning at 3 a.m. and I have this little thing that comes up about 6 a.m. that says, all I need is within me now. And that's kind of like my motivation because I'm hard-headed a little bit. And if I don't keep that constant motivation around me, you know, you start to fall into the, you know, life happens type of thing and the day is going this way or whatever. But I love that, you know, that vibe word. I'm feeling that all the way.
Love it. Thank you.
Any more children in the future? You thinking?
I'm thinking of having another one. My husband is not ready yet, but
Okay.
I think I'm almost convincing him, almost there.
You're gonna
Because
have
she
to get that vibe put on him so he can be ready.
yes, yes. But I
That's
think
wonderful.
we're because before he was like, absolutely not. And then now I'll kind of mention it. He's like, I don't know, not right now. And
Yeah.
then, like it's
Come
not
around.
an absolutely no. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, mention a little bit more and more.
Yeah, no, it'd be fine. Well, tell me a little bit about the Kathy Mou podcast because I would love to know more about that. And also for my listeners that are interested in what we are talking about, then you can gravitate some of those to your podcast. I'm all about sharing, I'm all about cross promotion and all of that because you know what, no matter what, we women have to stick together. You know, we're all doing our thing. We're triple, I don't even say multitasking anymore. I say we're triple tasking. We've got businesses, we got lives, we got children, we have life. So let us know about the Kathy Mou podcast. I'd love to know.
Yeah, thank you. So my podcast is actually Ignite Your Power, the Kathy Mou Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I started it because I had so much things in my mind and so much things that I wanted to share that it was so hard to just share it like via Instagram or TikTok and like those little segments. And I'm like, no, one topic can go like for at least 30 minutes, at least, right?
Yes, yes.
And I don't like how Instagram or social media just like literally will get clips and people can interpret it so wrong. They're like, oh my God, you said that. But I'm like, did you see the other topic of like this whole topic of how I said this little sentence, you know?
Right.
So that's what kind of got me into wanting to start a podcast. And then I just want to get better at speaking in general. I'm a ESL kid, so English is my second language. I actually
Okay.
spoke Mandarin Chinese growing up.
Okay.
And so I wanted to get better at speaking. And so I just like was like, okay, let's just start it and see what came out of it. And once I started podcasting, I loved it so much. I was kind of nervous at first because I was like, I
Yeah.
have to speak to myself on a microphone for so long.
Yes.
But once I spoke, I just kept spitting things out. And I was like, oh, okay, I have a lot in my mind, more so than I thought. But it's a place where you get to learn how to live holistically, live happily. I teach a concept called living a bliss soft life.
Yeah.
And it's a
That
life
was my
where
next question. I was going to ask about this Bliss Soft Life because when I saw that, I just imagined myself just floating on a cloud.
that's exactly it. But it's
Okay.
but it's really living in your own power. So it correlated with igniting your power. So I always talk about how we are this soul amazing being. And I don't know how spiritual you are, but I believe that there is something greater out there. Uh,
Absolutely.
right. And so if you start tapping into that and trusting that there is something higher there, and you remember that you're the soul amazing being, and which we are all amazing, we're all powerful. No one is better than one another. We are all super authentically us in our own special ways. This
Yeah.
is why it's beautiful, because we all have our own specialties. But when you know that, right? When you know your power, you're not going to be jealous of other people. You're not going to like
No,
care so much about other people. You're just going to be focusing on yourself, your power. So I
that's right.
promote a lot about self-love, self-care things there. I talk about spirituality. I talk about mindset, mental
Yes.
health, like
Mhm.
all holistic topics that would really ignite your power to live the most authentic, happiest life that you can. And this is what I call the Bliss Soft Life.
I love
So
that. I love
yeah, life is going to be so blissful, soft,
it.
not hard the way we think, right? Most of our society lives in full of anxiety,
Mhm.
stress, overwhelm, like these
Mhm.
low vibrational states that we should not be in. We
No.
should live in this high vibration. When you're in your high vibration, you're blissful, and you kind of like live life softly. And
And it can be contagious, you know? You can
yes,
really have that catch on to someone else. My second message that comes to me in the morning about 5 a.m., it says, remember, you're connected to spirit. That's one of those. I have messages that come like, and I did it so many years ago that it's funny how it comes every day and I still look at it like, oh, it just shocks me every time because I've had these messages on here since like 2011. And even as I've changed phones, those messages have kept on. So every other hour or something, there's a message that comes to me that reminds me of something. And that remember, and it's the remember part that really empowers me. It says, remember, you are connected to spirit, because that means that no matter how my day starts, it can be however I plan it to be. I
yes,
get what you're talking about. And I'm going to tell you something, you probably sent me your information thinking, okay, she may read it and she may not, but guess what? She did.
wow.
I have another thing that you talk about that when I tell you I'm so interested, because so many books on this shelf pertaining this message, but when I saw it in your bio, I went, oh my God, my new best friend.
Yes,
You
love
talk about you have a passion and a likeness for talking about numerology.
yes, I do.
And I tell you, everything I do every day has to do with something like that. It's weird to people who don't understand, but I understand me completely. I
Yeah.
have the sign in my office over there that says, I know it's weird, but the people know me here. And that's that tribe of people that we talk the same language, we speak the same way, we have that good energy that we can connect. How did you originally get started in numerology? Because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm 52 years old this year.
You look great,
I
by the
was
way.
in-
You look
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you. When I was in middle school, I decided to give up on math, sixth grade to be exact. And the reason I decided to give up is because I knew that what they were trying to teach me, I was never going to use in my real life. Because when I was in middle school, my thought process was, when I graduate from high school, I'm going to become a wife and a mother. So all this other stuff y'all are talking about, I'm not trying to be an architect or anything. I don't need to know A plus B plus Q. I didn't need to know that. So by the time I got to 10th grade, I hated math. And it wasn't until about 5 years ago when I realized that I needed to fall back in love with math and to get over not still even liking those teachers that tried to teach me math because it just was so annoying. And I bought this numerology book like maybe 7 to 10 years ago. And I said, okay, I could get with this. These are the kind of numbers I need to know about.
Yeah,
These are the things I need. I need to know about what Tesla was talking about when he said 369 is the key to the universe. I need to know what my numbers are to my life. I got so deep and I went, now if they had taught this in middle school and high school, I would have been your girl. So tell me,
exactly.
how did you get started with that fervor for wanting to know about numerology? Because when it caught on to me, I was like, wait a minute, there's another way to learn numbers.
Yes. So again, it was during my infertility stage. So I didn't know angel numbers was a thing. So numerology
My
is
daughter is so into that. She
number.
was like, oh, angel numbers. Yeah.
Yes. So if you don't know what angel numbers is, it's just like seeing synchronicities of like certain numbers. So I saw it, I kept seeing certain numbers on my phone, like 11, 11, 12, 12, 10, 10. And I was like, why do I keep seeing this? And mind you, I saw it for a whole month. And
Same numbers over and over.
I was like, okay, one day I finally just Googled it and I was like, what is this? Like, why do I keep seeing 10, 10 or 11, 11? And then I was like, your angels are talking to you. It's called angel numbers. And I was like, What? So my guides and angels have been talking to me this whole time? Isn't that beautiful though?
No, it is beautiful because another thing that comes to my phone, it says everything we need is under our roof.
Yeah.
And it's true. We have our phones, we have our books, we have things stored that we haven't looked at in a while that we may need to revisit. There's a reason why we haven't thrown, lessons and things away. So when you then learned about the angel numbers, you were like, it's been in my face all this time, but I didn't get what it was doing. Isn't
Yes.
it great to have those type of epiphanies where you're just like, it was guiding me all along? But what it says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yes.
So those numbers were appearing, but at that time you weren't ready. But when you got ready, you're like, I got it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And isn't that's like really living that bliss off life, like knowing that there's angels and guides and God really helping you. They're
Going
really
back to what you said, we know there's a higher power. We have to know this from the proof that's given to us on a daily basis. We have to know this. I mean, for those who don't know it, they'll get it again. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So when they are ready to get it, they will be taught what they need to be taught. But I get it.
exactly. And mind you, I was not spiritual at all growing up. I mean, I guess I grew up being Buddhist, but Buddhism is very a big part of the Chinese culture. So, I
Right,
mean, I like did the incense to my ancestors, etc., but I didn't really tap into spirituality until my infertility days. And
right.
looking back now, going through infertility has taught me so much what I needed to do and be to become this person that I'm supposed to be. So, all the hardships in life always lead to some type of learning lesson.
Yes.
Always.
Yes, yes. And you know what's fun is when those type of things do happen in the beginning, always ask yourself, okay, what's going to be the lesson in this? It makes it almost like a scavenger.
Yeah, it makes it
That is
easy.
so weird, but I have just learned to just embrace it and go with, I know that it's there for my good because that's what has shown me all my life. So for me to even go negative or go whatever on it, that's a bad thing. It's like instead of saying, well, what if something negative, just say what if and think up instead of down. So I'm glad that that happened for you. And how deep did you get into the numerology that has kind of helped to guide some of the things that you do in your
I yeah, it has led me now into doing numerology guidance card readings for people, and
everyday?
it's so fun. I never thought that I would ever um, do card readings, to be honest,
Yeah.
but my friend gifted it to me like last summer for my birthday a year or two ago, and she's like, because you're always into numbers, like angel numbers. And she's like, I thought this stick would be lovely for you. And I was like, okay, let me just try it out. And
Mhm.
then when I started doing it, I integrated it with my coaching, and it's been one of the most powerful things I've ever like done for other people. And every time I gave a card reading, it's
Mhm.
been so life-changing for them. Not only do they get results and guidance from their angels, etc., to actually get out of this stuck state that people are mostly in,
Right.
um, and then you just get these beautiful, easy answers. And I want to give you a story. Honestly, this is a real story of what happened. So I gave a
Oh,
reading.
I love it. Story time. Yes.
Yes, I gave a reading to my friend.
Mhm.
She was going through infertility as well. I guess she got a chemical pregnancy like a couple months before this reading.
Okay.
And so her question was, how can I get my dragon baby? And in the lunar calendar this year is dragon, the year
Yes.
of the dragon.
Yeah, we had a big, huge event here in Houston for it.
Yeah. Love it. Some people are like, well, what does dragon baby mean? I was
Oh,
like,
no,
oh,
I know
yeah,
all about it.
I love it. So I was like, whoa, that gave me a lot of pressure because I was like, are these cards going to reveal that? But it's guidance to tell her what she needed to do in
Right.
order to get her baby. So I pull these cards for her, and one card said music. So mind you, she loves music. She loves raves. And then the second one was adventure. So she had to
Ooh,
go on some adventure. And mind you, again, she loves traveling, being adventurous. She's always spontaneous.
yeah.
And then third, I pulled a spirituality card. And she's like, "What does this mean?" And she's like, "No, actually, I know exactly what you mean in this." And I was
Okay.
like, "Okay, tell me, because these cards are for her."
Yeah.
She's like, "I've been debating on going to this rave because I've been so stressful with life and I felt like I was undeserving to go, but no, you're telling me that I need to go. And I was like, yeah, your guides and angels are telling you. These cards are telling. She went. 2 days later, she came home, conceived. Now she is having her dragon baby due in August. I'm not lying to you. This is for real.
Oh
And
my
she
God, that's the best story. That is did she call you screaming on the phone or what?
Okay, so I knew she was pregnant because I posted about like a numerology guidance card reading, and she goes, dude, these readings are so accurate. And I was like, what do you mean it's so accurate? And so, like, 2 weeks later after that, she wanted to tell me in person, like, dude, I'm pregnant. And I wanted you to tell you this story in person because I didn't want you not believing me, you
Right,
know?
right.
And I was like, oh, wow. So it is true. And I was like, so beautiful.
Wow, I
So
love.
that was like one of the best
And
stories.
that explains the bliss part of this, because that
Yes.
is pure bliss there. When I don't know if everybody can understand it, because some people who already, they got pregnant first, they, have all their kids. And I'm one of those people. I got married, 3 months later, pregnant. Now I've got 4 kids. And it's like it just happened. And I didn't even I didn't, in my mind, there would have never been a thought that it wasn't going to happen on the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no thought that it wasn't. But for the women who have gone through some troubles with, I mean, I know a lady that has a whole nonprofit organization who works with women in infertility, and they do all kinds of things. But for women who really, really, really have going through this, if you're listening, mothers and daughters, you're really going through something like this. You hear her talking about the story. You hear her explaining what it is that she does. You hear her talking about the support that she can offer. You hear her talking about the bliss, blissness of what she does as a coach. And I think having like you said, a support group of people is such a great idea, because sometimes it's so funny how we think what we're going through, we're the only one in the world,
Yeah.
until you meet like 500 other people that are like me too, and you're like, what, like you went through that too. Like there's so many people going through some of the same things. So how do you end up meeting some of the individuals that are going through these issues that can be a part of your coaching community, where you can teach them about these type of holistic, blissful things?
Yes. Thanks for asking. So I do have a empowerment group that I have on Facebook, but obviously, if you do coaching with me, I will link you to all these amazing people too, as well, who are in this infertility stage and going through a tough time in their life. But to be honest, I think the best way, if you don't even have money and you don't even know where to start, just go on either Facebook or like Instagram and look for those type of people. And
That's
you
so
can just literally find a group of women, like if
true.
you're out to really find infertility or IVF, etc., there are resources out there.
That is
And
true.
it's that easy. So, like
You
again,
know,
if you ask God, universe for whatever answer, they will bring it to you.
that's
If you're
absolutely true. Seth Godin used to say, find your tribe. And what you just described is getting people an opportunity to find their tribe of people. Because again, sometimes you go through things and you think you're literally the only one on the planet because you haven't talked to anyone about it. You're sulking in it, you're keeping it quiet and not sharing it. So you really think you are the only one that's going through that, until you meet a group of people that can also share their experience. And it feels really great to be able to share experience. Like, for example, me interviewing you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a mom, that is exciting to me, because it's like, okay, we have a group of other people that are running their businesses and trying to, run life and all of these things too. So we all have to find our group of people that understand the language that we're even talking about. Because somebody who doesn't care or doesn't have anything to do with it, it's not their thing. It's not their wheelhouse of care. You know what I mean? So is there
exactly.
anything that you would like to leave the audience with that they could learn about you? But before you do that, can you tell us one thing about you that we could not find on Google? Just share one thing about you that we would not be able to find on Google. Like for me, I love certain foods. And certain foods to me mean whenever I'm traveling to different countries, whatever their landmark type of food is, I'm going to try it. I don't care. I'm going to try it and then be able to report back to the masses and say, hey, I tried it, and either I liked it or I didn't, but I did try it. So, what's the one thing that we could learn about you today that we wouldn't be able to easily go and Google?
Ooh.
Yeah.
If That's a good one. I have a lot, but I think the thing that I really want to share is that I actually love a lot of nerdy things. So I'm a huge Harry Potter fan
Got
and
it.
I love romantic comedies. I'm all about laughing so hard that I have to like pee in my pants and cry. Like that's the stuff that I love so much. And
I
I
love
think
that.
laughing is one of the best ways to heal yourself, to be honest,
Yeah,
and just
yeah, yeah.
happy.
I believe that because that good belly laugh,
Yeah.
you could think about that same laugh a month from now. You'll just fall out laughing. I just did it the other day. I was thinking about something I saw on Instagram not too long ago, and I called my friend on the phone. I said, "What was that thing that had me laughing all day?" And she goes, "Let me send it to you." She sent it to me. I laughed for the next 20, 30 minutes, and I was like, "Okay, I seem kind of crazy, but okay." Okay, so before we go, let us know where we can find you online. Give us your website. Tell us where we can find you on social media. And for the listeners and viewers, please, if you are interested in joining a circle of women that have the same likeness that you have an interest in talking about and connecting with, make sure that you connect with Miss Kathy Mou so that she can pull you into her fold and you can get those good vibes and live that blissful life like she's explaining to us today. She's done such a great job of explaining to us why she got her business started, how she started. The name is so perfect for what she's doing. So let us know where we can find you online.
Yes. So my website is my name. It's www.kathymou.com, KATHYMOU.
Okay.
And you can find my services there. So I do one-on-one coaching and also I do numerology guidance card readings. And those services are there. My podcast is even on my website as well.
Okay.
Um, my podcast is also on Spotify and Apple and all the other places, big places that you find podcasts on. And
Sounds
on
good.
yeah, and my socials, TikTok and Facebook, it's Kathy Mou, and then Instagram, it's Kathy.Mou. So
Okay. And
find me there.
those of you that are listening, it's MOU. It's MOU. So that way you'll know what to look for. All right. Well, thank you, Kathy, for being on the Mother Daughter Ish podcast today. And I have really enjoyed the minutes that you have spent with me. And again, thank you so much for taking the time out to share what you do and what you love with our listeners.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you. And you are welcome. All right, mothers and daughters, until next time. Hey, ladies, this is your official invitation to join us on the Winner's Circle Cruise in January. We're going to meet in Fort Lauderdale and go through Key West. And then from Key West, we are going to go over to Bimini, Bahamas. If you have not been to the Bahamas in the last year or so, you've got to go. It is so wonderful, so lovely, so awesome. So far, we've got a good group of ladies that are already signed up. The max to go is 24, unless something wild happens, but 24 is the max. If you received the flyer from me, you know that you need to go ahead and get your deposit down. So we'll spend the first day in Fort Lauderdale getting on the cruise. It'll spend a day on the water. We'll get over to Key West, spend a day there. That'll be day 3. And then for day 4, we will be in Bimini, Bahamas, and we will spend an entire day there where we will just foo la la, foo la la, foo la la. And the final day, we will be back in Fort Lauderdale. I do suggest that you get to Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the night before the cruise. I have seen people be left, so don't be one of them. Now, if you want to leave the day we get back, the cruise is going to be back. By the time you get off, it'll be 10. So if you want to book you a flight, book it after 10 or noon. You just saw the beautiful rooms that we are going to be booking. Yes, every room will have a balcony unless you declare otherwise. Now look at that water. Can you tell me you don't want to be there? Look at all those good markets. You telling me you don't want to be with the Winner's Circle? The Winner's Circle is for women owners of businesses that want to get together with other women from all over different places to be able to mastermind, to talk about our businesses, to grow, to support one another, to hear others' perspectives on how you can do things different in your business to be the best business and to grow your business. Anything that you can't talk about with other people, this is a great time. Join us on the Winner's Circle Cruise.